You are welcome in the biology class of Dr. P.K. Verma. In last session, I had discussed the mechanism of transformation of the genetic characters in bacteria. Bacterial recombination can occur by two more techniques known as transduction and conjugation. In this session, I shall discuss transduction in bacteriophages. Those bacteria living inside our body or freely can harbor many species of viruses, and these viruses are commonly called bacteriophages. Phagi means eating or killing. Viruses do not eat bacteria, but they kill bacteria. So these are called bacteriophages. Now, Hershey and Chase in 1952 studied the life cycle of T2 bacteriophage that normally lives and multiplies in the cells of Escherichia coli. Whether entire virus enters into the cell or it injects only genetic material into the cell was not known at that time. These are tailed bacteria and have been numbered odd and even. These odd and even bacteriophages have different characters. To observe whether the whole virus particle enters the cell or only the DNA packed within the protein coat is transferred, they used radioisotopic labeling technique. They infected the virus to different bacterial cultures and then mixed radio-labeled chemicals for protein and for DNA separately. In one medium, they used 35 as containing cysteine and methionine amino acids that would label the protein coat of virus. But in another medium, they used 32P containing nitrogen bases that could label their DNA. You know, protein contains two amino acids, cysteine and methionine, that have sulfur, and the DNA contains phosphate bonds, and therefore these two chemicals can be easily distinguished by respective radiolabeling with higher isotope of sulfur and higher isotope of phosphorus. In one experiment, he cultured bacteria in normal liquid medium and put the 35 as labeled T2 bacteriophages in the medium. After some times, He subjected the medium into a Waring blender, a type of mixie that removes the viral protein coat from the surface, and centrifuged the culture medium out from the bacterial cell. After that, the bacterial cells as well as supernatant were tested for radioactivity. Radioactivity was found only in supernatant, not in bacteria. That suggests that protein did not enter into bacterial cell. So it could be DNA that entered into bacterial cell and formed the next progeny. To confirm it, in the another culture medium, he mixed radio-labeled DNA containing viruses. Again he used Waring blender, centrifuged, and the supernatant as well as bacterial cells were studied. It was found that the radio-labeled DNA were present in bacterial cell but not in supernatant. It means that DNA of virus entered into bacterial cell and made the next progeny of virus. So it was a direct evidence that T2 bacteriophages as well as other bacteriophages have DNA genetic material, not the protein. Now we shall extend our study on the life cycle of viruses. In this diagram, in one set, sulfur-labeled protein containing viruses were mixed. They became attached on the surface, put their DNA into the host, and after Waring blender, the protein coats were removed in supernatant. So after testing, the radioactivity was found in supernatant, not inside cell. In another experiment, DNA was radio-labeled. It came into the bacterial cell, and after using Waring blender, the protein coats were removed. They did not contain phosphorus, and therefore radioactivity was found inside the bacterial cells, not in the supernatant. So come to the life cycle of bacteriophages. There are two types of viruses performing lytic and lysogenic cycles. Frederick W. Twort of United Kingdom and Felix de Herelle of France independently discovered bacteriophagy in 1915 and 17 respectively. But they did not know the bacteriophagy was due to infection of a virus. The earlier scientists thought that these are the two different strains of bacteria that undergo lysis or don't undergo lysis. But after the research of Hershey and Chase, it was confirmed that the bacteriophagy is because of the virus infecting those bacteria. Now, the T-even series of bacteria T2, T4, T6 are lytic bacteriophages. When they infect a bacteria, many copies of viral DNA and the viral protein codes, along with some of the enzymes, are formed using bacterial or the host cell's enzyme and transcription translation machinery. In this way, a number of viruses are formed and they come out by breaking the bacterial cells. So these are lytic viruses. The lytic viruses immediately multiply and immediately after multiplication break the host cell and they come out. Phages that replicate only via the lytic cycles are known as virulent phages. The lysogenic viruses, such as lambda virus, integrate their DNA in the host cell as episome and remain as such without expression for a few generations, forming prophages. Here the term prophage is used for the bacterial chromosomes that contain viral DNA. Such bacteria that undergo lysogeny are called temperate phages. What is lysogeny? The viral DNA that was integrated in bacterial DNA can separate intact anytime and start formation of new generation of virus like the lytic bacteriophages. This is the diagram showing the two types of life cycle in viruses. In lytic cycle, virus becomes attached to the surface, sends its DNA into the host cell, when its multiplication occurs and many new generation of virus was formed and they come out of the cell by breaking the bacterial cell wall. In the lysogenic cycle, DNA was inserted and this DNA becomes integrated into the bacterial chromosome. They remain as such and multiply along with the bacterial DNA. See, from one bacteria, two bacteria have been formed. But when this viral DNA or the episome separates, it joins the lytic cycle, many copies of the viral DNA is formed and new generation of virus is formed. So the lysogenic bacteriophages also perform lytic cycle. The lytic and lysogenic bacteriophages sometimes carry bacterial DNA in place of viral DNA. What happens? These viruses break the bacterial DNA into many pieces. And when the viral DNA was being packed inside protein coat, by chance, in place of the viral DNA, a fragment of bacterial DNA containing a few genes is packed. Now the viral protein coat has packed bacterial DNA. Their behavior is normal as a virus, but they do not contain viral DNA. When they infect a new bacteria, they introduce bacterial genetic material from one cell to another. So new generation of virus is not formed. And the DNA transferred from one bacteria to another bacteria becomes inserted, causing genetic change in the latter. Such transfer of genetic material from one bacteria to another is called transduction. Transduction was discovered by Norton Ginder and Joshua Lederberg in 1952 in Salmonella. Now just have a look on both the processes of genetic change. In case of transformation, DNA of less than 30,000 base pairs can be transferred directly from the medium to bacteria. Only the competent bacterial species can be transformed. They don't need a virus or any vector. But in case of transduction, a viral vector is used. A larger DNA, more than 30,000 base pairs, can be packed in viral protein coat and transferred from one bacteria to another. Any bacteria can be transduced by the virus of this T. even class. Similar transduction can occur in the higher organism also. So you have studied two methods of the genetic change in bacteria, and the third method, conjugation, will be discussed when replication of DNA will be discussed. Thanks.